No, exactly. It's just the way you today.
No, literally. See, I love that you have the screen on the side and not in front because I would just stare at myself.
Oh,
Ugh.
I get it. Yeah, that's why I'm not seated there or here because I would just be like.
Mm-hmm.
But little does everybody know before everyone comes in, I'm literally here just like, or using my phone to like, so I could see how the fuck I look or what the hell's going on this very on day. Also, this water's for you, babe.
Oh.
We had it for you. I wish we had straws in here.
Thank you. No, it's perfectly fine. I don't mind when a bottle or something touches my lips. It's a cup, it's different. A bottle's different because it's a smaller hole, so it'll get like the inside of the lip actually, and then it'll make it blend more to like a nude.
Work. Okay. See, for me, I'm just like naturally a straw girl anyways. One, because most times I'm glossed down. So I'm just like, all right, I don't want to ruin this. And like what you said, like a cup, I hate drinking a cup, especially in public, or a can. It's so like I have to take this thing back in the middle of the train. I just feel like I look goofy as hell in that sense.
Oh, I feel that. But, just like my mom said, if you ever have to use the bathroom, if you got to go, you got to go. If you got to drink, you got to drink. If you got to eat, you got to eat.
My girl. See, I would like your mom already. I'm the same type of way. Like, I don't apologize for any of that little shit anymore. Like, when I have to piss, I have to piss. When I have to fucking shit, I am sprinting through these halls.
I'm chucking I'm throwing bows.
Oh, have you ever lied to get yourself into a public bathroom before?
No, I don't think I have. I've spent money to get into a public bathroom.
Okay, I have a story, but yours first.
Well, I feel like my thing is growing up, obviously, as a versatile, I have IBS. So, and I'm lactose intolerant. But, so like, if I go to a place, I'll feel really guilty about going there asking to use the bathroom, or growing up in the city, I know a lot of places won't fuck with you and let you go into the bathroom. So I'll literally just be like, oh, can I get a coffee? And then I'll grab the coffee, ponder for a second, so it seems like it's normal, and then I'll use the bathroom.
Smart. See, I had a moment like that, and I documented it and shared it to my group chat a few weeks ago. I was like, this was the most fucking expensive bathroom trip I've ever taken. I was in the West Village, and I had I think one of my clients here canceled. So I was like, I'm just going to have the whole rest of the day to myself. I'm going to go get food, go to the park, da-da-da. I passed by this one place I pick food up from, and I'm like, I should have really have used their restroom. I don't. It's too late to turn back. I have food in hand, and I'm like, it's
you
okay.
You could have. You paid. You was still a customer.
But I was past it.
How far?
A few blocks.
Okay, yeah.
It was more so I don't know if I'm gonna make it to there. I'll just find the next thing.
Oh, it was one of those.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, girl, those are the worst.
Yes. I'm not thinking about pissing in an alley just yet, but the idea is trending.
You're like, if I have to, I will.
Exactly. And so I go to one Dunkin', I go in. I'm like, gonna place an order, and I'm like, do you guys have a bathroom, by the way? And they're like, no, we don't, but the Starbucks across the street does. I'm like, okay, suddenly I don't want coffee. I want their coffee, bye. And I go across to theirs, and I'm walking in. The first thing I see, bathroom is closed today, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding? So essentially, I went to 3 different places, bought 3 different drinks that then I was fucking sipping and drinking on.
And you had to pee.
Yes.
Girl, you are the problem.
Oh, I was the fool in that moment. I spent maybe $25 on going to the bathroom. Yeah, because my food and then the drinks included.
See,
it was horrible.
I feel like I've done that, but in one spot, depending on the location. But I just did a walk with my boyfriend. He's not from New York City, so he wanted to do a walk from the top of Manhattan to the bottom of Manhattan. Very Broad City, cute. That episode.
Yes, exactly. I've been meaning to do that, yeah.
He doesn't watch Broad City, so he didn't know the episode, but he just, he knows of the walk. And he's a very fit boy, but, I was like, I'll do it, but you know my stomach. She got her own mind, her own attitude, and her own place. And I was like, we go at my pace. And then also, if you book a massage afterwards, then yes, I'll do it.
Exactly.
And he did.
Exactly.
So it was and he also had, he had a map of, public restrooms. Which I was like,
Where
real New York City girls.
That's
the thing. Transplants have access. They know these things. But people from New York City don't. Because I grew up in the city, and I would tell you, if we walk into the city, you literally shit out of luck. Because we're not finding anything. But every time I needed to use the bathroom, he was like, oh, there's this one over here, this one over here. I went to the New York Public Library in Washington Heights. It was fab. It was so nice. Because like it was just quiet, serene, AC'd, and clean.
No, like there needs to be AC everywhere. But like in a bathroom, I can't.
Like, and it was spacious too. So like I was like, I took my time.
I love like a department store bathroom, like an empty Macy's that no one goes to, the third floor bathroom where, always. Have you ever heard about that like placebo effect thing where it's like when you go into a Barnes and Noble you have to shit? Because
actually,
that's me.
No, I've never had that experience, but maybe it's because like I'm a book nerd. Like I've always been nerdy.
Oh,
so like when I go into Barnes and Noble, I'm there on a mission.
Really?
Like I'm finding the comic book section, the graphic novel section, and then I'm doing everything else.
Respect. See, I love books, but I have undiagnosed ADHD, so I'm like, okay.
No tea.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you're a soldier. Okay. I'm not. I'm like, okay, audiobook. I'm going to look at everything I need to, make a list of it, buy what I really want to, and then I'm going to shit my brains out in this bathroom. And it's just, I think it's because the ambiance in there is so soothing and everything. Your bowels just ever so happen to relax by the time you're past the third aisle. It's
literally atmospheric douche.
Yes. Wait, I like that.
Right?
Atmospheric douche. It's really like that. And going back to the bathroom thing, I've always had this, well, we've always been at the bathroom thing. I have this like concept of mine that like if I were to ever be on Shark Tank, it would be for an app that's Grindr, but make it toilet. But
like Sniffies, but toilet.
Yes. How have we not had that? It would feel be called like Flush or something.
Ooh.
Right.
That's kind of client.
FLSH.
Whoever's watching, whoever's listening, you heard it first.
I met Barbara Corcoran a few months ago, and I meant to tell her that, but like I completely blanked because she's kind of fucking iconic, and I was like,
no, see, yeah. I think that would be good, but then it would get to a point where places would stop letting it be public bathrooms, and it would only be those public bathrooms in the park, and we all know you don't fuck with those. Those are last resort bathrooms.
Yeah, those are where like you're not touching anything.
You're literally floating above a seat.
Yeah, I've seen a nasty bathroom and it wasn't at a park. I was at this skate rink back home. Crazy.
Where's back home?
Maryland.
Oh,
yeah. Between DC and Maryland.
Oh,
DMV
wow.
girl.
DMV. That's why you're a whore.
I did my
research. I know when people talk to you about men, you were like, yeah, I could be a slut. Yeah, I guess. You were like, oh, how's the dick over here? How's the dick over there? You're like, yeah.
I'm just a journalist. I'm just investigative. I'm just investigative and inquisitive. Hands-on.
Hands-on research.
Or off.
Oh.
Hands
off. Legs up. Right.
Always. Yeah, I was going to say depending on what position I'm playing, but who cares? All the time, legs up.
Honestly, yes.
I can make it work.
No,
I have a quite stable core as of these recent weeks, so I can balance if needed.
Have you ever okay, now that makes me think. Have you ever done like a upside down move?
Define an upside down move.
Like either you as the bottom or the other person as the bottom, but they're literally upside down, and it's like they're like, I think it's called the jackhammer.
Oh, like say like okay, I get what you're saying. It's the one where
they can be on the floor or the bed, whatever you fuck with.
It's almost like riding in a way, but it's
kinda.
But it's like upside down.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
So it's also comparatively like if someone were to self-fillet. And they're it's just open and ready, but you.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Okay, and yes, I know this one very well. Not from my own experience, but from research. And like the top is essentially just like, you know what I mean? Like they're like really going.
Yeah, they're just. It's a deep dive. It's a deep dive.
Have you?
Yes. Oh.
Both sides.
Say that one more time.
Both sides.
No.
Okay.
Not as a bottom. I'm verse top, and I really live by that in the sense of like I only bottom when I'm in love, or if I'm like that deeply need to be fucked.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So like, I can on hand count how many people have topped me when I wasn't in a relationship, and it's not even a full
Fierce.
hand. Like, for me, this is a lot. Like, my natural ass is fat too. I don't need to pad. I pad to just add extra.
Glamour. Yeah.
And like, I don't want someone getting that side of me if I don't feel like they deserve it.
Yeah.
Me topping, I guess I'm more free with that. So it's just like, yeah, no, boom, 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 you know, I'm done. But like, that's why I always like joke about bottoms, but I also 100% am like, no, bottoms put in the work.
Respect. Those are our troops.
Literally the columns of the community. It's a Greek building,
Yes.
Greek architecture, and they are the columns.
No, completely. And I'm like, are you my therapist in this moment? Because I kind of needed this chat. I never thought my therapist would be in full garment today, and I really
That's the tea.
live
I
for it,
actually went to
talking
school
about
for
bathrooms.
psychology.
Did you really?
2 years. I did 2 years.
That's more than enough.
But then I changed my major. And the T was like, I wanted to like be in the CIA. I wanted to be like a host, like this whole shtick. But when I went to my first college, which was SUNY at Buffalo, I did most of my psych requirements in those 2 years, not doing my gen eds.
Oh.
So like realistically, if I went back, it wouldn't take me that long to finish.
Yeah, you would just have to finish.
Yeah,
basic
but
classes.
then I was like not having the best time. I didn't care enough, and I went back to doing theater because that's what I grew up doing. Theater. I grew up singing, dancing, and acting.
Yeah.
And when I started doing the art requirement, I was like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun. Let me make it a minor.
Yeah.
And then I was acing the minor, but I was flunking the classes in psych.
Got you.
So I was like, let me transfer back home. And I did. And I went to it for a full BFA in acting. So I'm glad I did it. But I did get like the know-it-all. Like, I learned a lot of stuff psychology-wise. And also, I'm a therapy girl. I truly believe everyone should be in therapy.
No, you are. And you have like very great, warm, welcoming
Thank you.
energy about you. I'm just like, wait, hold on. I don't want to call you like my bootleg therapist, but like you can.
No,
be
but
if you
honestly,
like,
bootleg,
honestly.
like, especially because we're on Canal Street, so like bootleg, like
it
on
would
the
be
corner.
fitting. Exactly. See,
Literally.
you get it.
No, I'm fine with it.
Love it.
I just hate when my energy invites a stranger to just unload unprompted. Because there's also consent in unloading trauma.
1,000,000%.
I was out of drag. I was at a jockstrap party at Rock Bar.
Love.
And this guy comes up to me and like starts talking to me, and we're not even a minute into talking. And he's like, yeah, I'm homeless and this, that, and third. Like, I'm fighting with my friend who was my roommate. And I was like,
Whoa.
baby, you are welcome to your trauma, and I'm so sorry you're going through that. But I do not have the capacity for this. I just worked a double. I came here to have fun.
And you're not going to get me one either?
Yeah.
Before talking about all the...
Like, no tea.
Yeah,
like, no
yeah.
drink, no nothing.
No hi, hello.
There was the hi, but there was no hello, if that makes sense. Like, it was a short greet.
Yeah. There's, like, now at my tender age of 26, I know the difference between people that like two-way conversations and people that like giving speeches.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. And we love a speech. You go on and do what you need to do,
Yes.
Melania. But, like, I will just... if I'm not interested, I will Melania back and just hardly listen, be there, and give some dangerous blinks towards your way.
For me, I've noticed I'll say work a lot. If I'm not in the conversation enough, I'll be like, work. Work. Work.
But you sound so, like, encouraged. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm going to have
because
that
I'm not,
replaying
like,
to
I'm a
me.
cunt, but not a cunt.
My kind.
So,
Honestly.
like, I fully live for the girls who can be, like, just raging, just straight cunt.
Yeah.
But I like to serve cunt, but also I hate people who really are cunts.
Real.
Like, there's no reason for that nastiness, you know?
I agree.
Especially if it's a stranger, like, especially if I host my brunch.
Yeah.
And I get so many people that come up to me and talk to me. And normally I do not have the capacity in that moment to speak. But I'm like, work. Oh my God, work.
Right, exactly. And that's not you being a cunt. First of all, you look cunt enough where you don't need to overcompensate with cunt-esque behavior.
T.
You know what I mean?
No, T.
There's a science behind it, and you're
No,
mastering
100%. It's also growing up in the drag scene, like as Frida has grown in the drag scene, and then being around the queer community, I've seen all levels of attitude surrounding me out of drag and surrounding me in drag, and like I just don't like nastiness. Like it's also like it will really bring the New Yorker out of me. Like you be nasty, I can be nasty back. Like you forget I'm a whole man.
I love people that use the word nasty to describe somebody's behavior because that's such a, like, for me, the first person who I heard using that word was my mother, and she only says that when somebody is being fucking nasty. And I, like, it's the only way to describe it.
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah.
Like, that person's energy, like, there's like, oh, she was standoffish, but it's like, no, she's nasty.
No, she's
Don't
nasty.
invite her to the pregame. She's
no,
nasty.
that is tea. Like, there's those people that you're like, oh, she's but she's nasty.
Yeah, that
like,
her friend, nasty.
Nasty.
Rotted. And you're not a nasty person at all.
Thank you.
You don't have that energy about you.
I don't like to be. Like, I feel like there's been people, and this could be my own self-saboteur because I'm a Cancer, but like, I feel like there's been people who just don't like me, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But for me, it's more like, what reason? Why don't you like me? And sometimes I've experienced people don't like me because I do bearded drag, because I have hair on my body, because whatever the case may be. But I've gotten to a point where I'm now like, you can say whatever you want, but you can't say I'm not pretty. You can't say I can't perform. You can't say I can't take a crowd. Because normally I'll do a show and the crowd ends up loving me more than a host. So I'm just like, you can't say, I will not give them the power to also say I'm nasty either. Right. I don't want that.
Right. Exactly. That's you knowing your character too. You know? And I think that just comes with age. That's like, for me, I've like got into that point now. I'm like, you could say whatever you want about me. I don't really know if people really care about me enough to say some shit like that. But if they do, I'm just like, okay, fierce. I know what's my truth at the end of the day. I know I'm not only cute, gorgeous, thick, talented, amazing. I could go on. But
okay.
I know I'm not fucking nasty. And if what you thought of me was nasty, I'd love to chat about it. But if you can't even chat about it, then
shut your mouth. No,
exactly.
It's shut your mouth.
Exactly.
Like, if you can't say it to my face, if you're not bold enough to speak to me, then don't talk about it. Because if I hear about it, I'm going to ask about it.
I don't even know if I care enough. Genuinely. I think that's my thing. I'm so, like, lackadaisical. I hope I pronounced that right. In the sense where, like, shit like that, like, I don't mean to be like that person, but like, I've been thinking about this a lot lately. See, here you are being my therapist. I'm like, I've been through way too much in my childhood and early life that none of y'all fucking know about for me to even give time to shit like this in this current day. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's being like shit to me at the club or whatever, I'll just get, why am I getting high? I'm like, I would just
see, no, that's the trauma releasing out the body. That's what it is.
Wow, that 2 years really did it for you, didn't it?
It really did. Well, it's also the many years I've been in therapy.
Felt.
So, and being a Cancer, I've like illegitimately therapized many friends, and I've been through many relationships. So like, I've seen toxic, I've seen,
you know how it looks,
all these things. And also I'm very big on self-reflection and self-awareness and responsibility of self. So like, I hold myself accountable for shit. Yeah. Like, I'll be like, oh, I was wrong in that.
I find that that's just the easiest thing to do. That's what I realized before. I think I would kind of get so lost in my delusion where I'd just be like, I don't know why they would think that. And I would ask my friends, they'd be like, well, girl, you were so-and-so. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the problem with just me being like, you know what? Yeah, I fucked up. Even if something at fucking work happens, I messed up the audio in somebody's episode. What am I going to do? Search towards the ends of the earth to find some type of lie to bury myself in? So what? My ego doesn't get hurt?
The lie builds. And
exactly.
Sometimes I do get it. Sometimes it is very hard in the moment to accept the responsibility of something. Yeah. But once you get to the point where you can accept it, you should reach out and say like, that was all me, I'm sorry. Yeah. Or that was partially on me, or whatever the case may be. Because, you know, we have our feelings, and you're going to feel whatever you feel, and feel it, but don't live in it. Stay with it, but drop it off at the exit.
Yeah.
You know?
Real. And I learned that recently, even with things that I might not agree with, that I was displaying such behavior. Even if I don't agree, just agree to disagree. I'm so sorry. I'm going to work on that. I didn't see such behavior myself, but I'm going to work on that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, girl.
That's also real, because I think of that with drag, especially because, like, if someone would be like, oh, I didn't know I could approach you, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
I fucking hate when people
I
say
didn't see. It happens to pretty people.
True. Okay.
It doesn't happen to not
Fascinating.
pretty
Okay,
people.
you're right.
Because think about it. Like, what non-pretty person has ever been told you seem unapproachable, or like, I didn't know if I could come up to you, I was scared to come up to you? They would have to look like a serial killer. And it's just, one of my therapists actually told me this. She was like, you can't be bothered that someone feels like they can't come up to you. That's because you're exuding confidence, and that's something they don't have. So they're uncomfortable with that. And to me, it's a gag, because
That is.
I just started being confident in the last few years.
Girl.
And
same.
people have always been like, oh, I didn't know I could talk to you or approach you. I was like, what?
Interesting.
I just feel like I'm so nice. Like, if you actually come up to me, I'm like, hi.
Exactly. And if I look stoic of some sort, I'm 100% disassociating. And if anything, I would love for you to wake me up out of my disassociative spell. You know, that's me in the gym. Like, me in the gym, I'm just like, I just like float amongst the place. And somebody asks me something, I'm like, yeah. And I love it, because I'm like, grounding me, returning me back to where I'm supposed to be.
But I love a good disassociating moment as well. Like, sometimes I'm like, ooh, I need to just disappear mentally for a second. And I'll put on my headphones. It's usually like when I'm walking to somewhere and I'm on a mission.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, don't talk to me. Let me just disappear.
Fascinating.
Because the thing is, like, and I know you probably think this way, because you give hustle and bustle. You give, like, you're working on your projects. You're thinking of the next thing. This is the next thing, but how can I start the next thing after that? Or what can I start that should be started already? And that's very me, because, like, I serve and bartend out of drag, and then I also have drag, and then I also am an actor with a commercial agent. So, like, I get a lot of things going, and I have a new boyfriend now, and, like, also friends, family, and it's just, like, I'm always thinking, like, okay, what can I do here?
Yeah.
So I've learned to accept the dissociating moments that are necessary. Like, after working a double shift, and then going to a gig or going to support a gig. On the way there, I'm playing no music, or I'm playing only music and not talking.
Yes. Then, like, y'all know I love music, clearly. But, like, the no music lifestyle or no audio stimulation choice is a
It brings you
fierce
back.
choice. Oh, my gosh.
It brings you back.
It does. It
Like-
does. I've been going to work some days recently just listening to the city. Even if it's
That's
loud and
tea.
crazy, I'm like, I honestly just need to be with Earth for a minute. Even if there's a kid screaming here and a dog almost just pissing on my leg, whatever. I don't care. I'm not into that. We'll see. Anyways, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. To reference our sex chat earlier, but it's honestly so tea, I will say, in choosing, like, the pacing of the music. Like, if I'm going into work blasting Sophie, my day is probably going to be Sophie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas if I come in blasting some soft sounds.
Like,
Yeah.
I love classical music. I'm not gonna lie.
Same.
And also, I love that I can twerk to classical music. So, like, that's like my coup de grace. That's my thing. Like, I love being like, oh, I can twerk to anything. And in college, I like tested that, because people would be like, oh, you can't twerk to anything. I was like, put on anything right now. I will hit the beats. And I did.
Exactly. That just means you have rhythm and they don't. Doesn't matter how the music sounds. It's just where you fall in with the beat and the rhythm of such, if that makes any sense.
No, yeah. It's for me, like, you dance, right? Or you used to?
I could go on a long story with my dance life, but maybe that could be for another episode. I'm going to say, well, yes.
Yes,
I do.
because when I was doing my little research, I was like, I need to know a little bit more about Joey. Like, I'm not about to go in this drag. I can give him to a dry like that.
Yeah,
Gotta get the
run
shit
that
wet
shit back,
first.
yeah.
You know. So, Bobs, I saw that you performed in Miami Pride, and you said like there was all this choreo and everything. And girl, face crack when you fell. I was like, because anyone who's done a jump split or like a really fast stunt or trick,
Oh, yeah,
we've all
girl.
had one moment where your balance was off a little too much, and you fell a little forward or whatever the case
My
is.
velocity in that moment was so fucking fierce and so intense. I just came right to the floor. But if we're talking about that, then yes, I did perform in drag for about 3 years.
Yeah. What was your name in drag?
Daphne Lux.
I saw Lux. I didn't see the Daphne thing.
Really?
Yeah, because when I was scrolling, I was looking for the photos. I was like, where are the photos? Where are the photos? But I was going to say, like, with dance, I feel like the music should move you. Like,
Yes.
your body and, like, what you do is a translation of the music to your soul or to whatever you're feeling in that moment.
Completely.
So that's why, like, I think it's a little more than rhythm, because sometimes, I mean, rhythm is always there. But, like, I feel like it's more than that. It's, like, when you get lost in it, that moment of, like,
Yes.
just, ooh, like, nothing to me hits more. Like, when I go out of drag, I'm trying to dance. I'm not trying to stand around.
No. Fuck a section. Fuck standing behind the DJ. Let them do what they need to do. I'm going to be here twirling
Literally
amongst the people.
Like,
hate that.
if I'm out, most likely I'll take a shot if I'm gonna dance, because I don't like holding a drink. Even in drag, I don't like holding a drink.
You are my fucking sister. I'm the same fucking way.
It's just cumbersome. It's in my way.
And then by the time, like, you sip in, it gets old, and now it's disgusting, and now I'm stuck holding it. Now I need to place it somewhere.
When you're finished and you're stuck holding it is the worst. And it's packed boots. Like, come on.
And what, am I just gonna drop it on the floor?
And now
or
you're one of
leave-
those.
Exactly.
And you're adding to the mess, the sludge of the floor.
You're not a nasty girl.
No,
you are
it's
a lady.
But I will say, I'm not gonna lie. There have been times where I was so lit. I was like, oh, do I put it on the floor? But instead, I just give it to a friend and I go, can you hold this? And then I go off, and then, like, I just never take the cup back.
Desperate. Desperate times call for desperate measures. I don't blame you.
Listen, I
find that resourceful.
it's like, hey, if you don't mind holding it, like,
Yeah, you
here.
just reallocated the cup
Yeah.
to somebody else's hand.
No, literally, I didn't get rid of it. It's not my problem anymore.
It's now their job. Smart. See, I'm the same way. Like, when I go out, I want to dance, and I like that you made that point. Of it being beyond rhythm, because that's always been my connection with music. You know what I mean? To go to my, like, very, like, it either did happen or not happen with my dance experience. Like, I've always just been connected to music somehow, and I've always been able to move to it the way other people can.
Yes.
And that's not to be
Yes.
like me here, them here. It's like, no, it's a
No,
certain...
you can know. You know. When you see someone dance, you know if there's some experience there or not. Like,
Yes.
you know if it's... And on top of that, you also know if whatever they're doing is purely trained or innate. Like, you can tell... You're like, oh, you be dancing.
Yeah.
You be dancing. Like, you just can tell. Even those people, like, when you're out, and you've definitely seen it, I've seen it, when it's a lit night and there's that lit person who can't dance, but, like, there's something about, like, the way they're dancing to the music
Yep.
that you're like, oh, you be dancing. You would
They
in
know
your
how
mind,
to
you are a
embody
dancer.
it, whatever
Yes.
whatever song it may be.
Any song. Like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Yeah,
Love those moments.
I'm definitely that same way. And I love that about music. And I love that about going out. My main thing about going out when I started going out, I was like 18, was like, I don't care about drinking or doing anything. I just want to go out to music. Most times still to this day, I'm like alleged sober. Like, I don't really drink as much. I just need the DJ to be fire, and I'm good.
Tea.
And a Red Bull.
Tea.
And I'm there.
Now, you say you need the DJ to be fire. Are you the type, because I'm very this, are you the type that if the music isn't good, you're not dancing? Because I am too.
I will try
I want
my
you to know.
best. I will try my best. Like, I've been to some places where, like, it's just not good. Whether it be like the same shit we've heard like to an excess,
Or the same BPM and rhythm the whole
yes,
time.
or like there's no lyrics, or it's just not my thing. I'll try to get with it, but then I will audibly start yawning, and that's not me being a cunt, but like everybody else here is stimulated by substances of some sort. I came here for my drug of choice, which is the DJ. And if you are not strong enough, or you simply have expired in potency, then I'm falling asleep, babes. You gave me a melatonin. I came for some crack.
Oh, not crack.
Musically,
Get the good stuff.
metaphorically.
Get the good stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Put crack in
literally.
it.
Well, that's the tea. Is like if I know I'm going out, I don't usually get high in drag. Like especially if I have to talk, because I with ADD plus being high, like my tracking for my jokes and stuff are so off.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to get in my head.
Oh yeah.
But when I'm out of drag and I'm going to party, I actually love to be high. People are like, oh no, it makes me sleepy. For me, it makes me want to dance. It makes me want to dance. It makes me want to sing. Like I just like have the best time.
I like being high when going out over being drunk.
Yes, 100%.
Depends what kind of drunk though. Like I'd rather be, here's my top tier: high, crossfaded, drunk.
Oof. Ooh.
Like I love a crossfaded, like weed and a tequila Red Bull, and just shots.
Where it gives you that oof.
Oh,
That
I'm
oof.
the baddest bitch. As if I wasn't already. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's my thing. If I had to choose,
I feel like mine would be weed. And like if I'm, because that's the thing is like being drunk, I get sleepy. I get
Same.
sleepy until I'm drunk. So if I'm not drinking, I'm gonna get sleepy, and I'm a big girl, so like sometimes it takes a lot of drinks for me to feel a type of way.
Yeah.
And then I can't eat before because I'll get bloated, and then I don't feel drunk, and I'm like, okay, this is a waste of my time.
Yes.
And then I'm uncomfortable, and you have to be uncomfortable. You have to be comfortable when you go out.
That's what it is. It's the uncomfort kills me, especially like
Can't take it.
once the stomach things come in and then I feel bloated, and I'm just like, how do people enjoy this? Like, oh God, there's only been a certain amount, like I could count maybe on like 5 fingers, like times where I've gotten to that point. And at the end of the night or the Sunday, if it was a brunch day, I'm like,
Brunch
girl,
days, oof.
oh, I had a fucking brunch day. Granted, it was fun and legendary, and I'll never forget. I ended up drunk in the middle of like Bergdorf's, just like glasses. But like, oh my God, did I feel like shit when I got back home?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That hangover in the middle of the day
Is crazy.
It's nasty.
It's crazy. That's nasty.
That's nasty.
That's fucking nasty.
Nasty is also that word that is so like it's like bitch. It's like it has so many meanings.
Yes.
You know, it's like work as well. Like for me, I also say nasty for a performance. Like, oh, she was nasty. That
Yeah.
was nasty.
And that's the thing. It just depends on the inflection.
Yes.
Nasty. You're a shit person.
Yeah.
Nasty. Sickening performance.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like there is a
it's that
difference.
hold of nasty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like I was screaming that after I saw you, or during. I think genuinely like the first 30 seconds during your working number for Night of 1,000 Misses.
Thank you.
When I tell you, like, I was shitting and vomiting in the middle of that fucking basement at $3 Bill or whatever the fuck that
Oh my
place
God.
is.
It was 9BN. It's $3 Bill's side location. Yeah. I still don't know the name properly.
Yeah.
But it's kind.
Yeah, it's cute. I just find out that the event is there, not at actual $3 Bill.
When
and
you
they
go
pull
into
up.
$3 Bill and they
they're
go,
like-
you're for the show next door.
And they're like, just keep walking down until you see the and
Pink
I'm like,
door, yeah.
yes, exactly. You ate that.
Thank you.
That shit was nasty. And it's funny because in that moment, being real, like, I wasn't very familiar with their work. The time I saw you beforehand was for Night of 1,000 Mileys. And when they came up and announced you,
It
and
was
then I saw you,
Miley tribute night. She did have a Night of 1,000 Mileys, but that was further back.
Professional.
Yeah, no, because people would be confused.
Yes.
Because there was a Night of 1,000 Mileys, and that was actually the first time I think I saw her Night of 1,000s. Was Night of 1,000 Mileys, and I was like, I want in on this, and this is cunt. This is everything. And then she did the Miley
It was
tribute
the Miley
night.
tribute. That's right, because it was for like the album that came out and everything. Professional. And when you came up and then I heard the name, it all clicked. And I was like, oh, that's the bitch that did Zombie. And I was like, I turned to all my friends, the ones that weren't at the Miley night. And I was like, put your phone fucking down. Tell the guy that you're trying to get with tonight to wait a minute and watch this bitch. And you fucking tore. Like we're talking about people that know to dance. Though, like, I saw and I was like, not only were you all doing choreography, but the way you were moving, I was like, yeah, she's a fucking dancer. You ate that up like a pop bitch should.
Well, that's
genuinely
the thing. Like, Night of 1,000 Missy Elliott's, I instantly knew what song I wanted to do. And at first I wanted to do a mix, but she was like, no mixes, like, for like, we don't want to like take other songs from other people, blah, blah, blah. And I was actually on a cruise when she sent out the message of claiming the song. And I was like, to me, if I'm not doing Rain or, oh my God, why am I blanking on a song? Get your freak on, or Work It. I'm like, I don't know what else to do. So Work It was my number one after Rain. And I was like, I knew she was doing Rain. So then I was like, okay, I need Work It. I want it down. I paid for Wi-Fi on the cruise. So I had connection because otherwise I had no connection.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like told my friends, I was like, I'll meet y'all at dinner. I'm going to sit on this stairwell and wait for the message to come in that it's time. And I wrote it in instantly. I was like, oh, thank God. And I as soon as I got back, we came up with that choreo that week. So I like hit up Lanye Armand and Ruby Slay, and I was like, can y'all be my backup girls? Like, I want to, like, Missy's a dance, like, even though she doesn't dance as hard as her dancers may, her music is still dance music. Like, that is like boombox in the middle of the street, like feeling that energy, like that really gives hip hop.
Yep.
And I was like, I feel like this number needs dance, like it needs choreo.
Yeah, and she has the musicality too, because I grew up being a Missy stan. Like, even there would be moments in her performances or videos where the dancers would be hitting the choreo and she would come in and hit the same 6 and 7 and that, and then go back into whatever she's doing. And it's like, oh, she watches the rehearsals and know when it's time for her to come in and when it's time to go.
Well, she's a particular girl.
Very.
She's always been.
Yep.
Even still, and also she looks major.
Yeah.
I was like, she regressed in age.
I know. She's like 3 years old now. I'm like, okay.
I'm like, that's not fair.
I know.
She looks so good. You did.
I will never forget it. I met her when I was working at the radio station. It was iconic. She was coming in to see Angie Martinez, and I, like, Breakfast Club hours, I finished around 3 p.m. Angie wasn't, like, starting till maybe, like, 6 that day, and I was like, do I really want to stay after
to see Missy? Yes.
Oh, no.
You didn't even know?
I didn't know it was Missy. I was like, okay, Angie's having somebody in. Is it going to be somebody special? If not, I'm leaving. And they're like, Missy's coming today. I was like, what?
Yes.
Like, one of my childhood dreams, like, fulfilled. I stayed in all day, and I got to walk her up from, like, the lobby and everything, go up with her in the elevator, and I'll never forget introducing myself to her. So, like, the most fucking iconic thing ever. So I'm going up to her. She has a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos in one hand. And she's eating them. And I'm like, hi, Missy, I'm Joey. Nice to meet you. I work for Power and Angie and everything. Really nice to meet you. Huge fan. Switches hands. Puts the Dorito bag into the Dorito hand. Missy, very nice to meet you, Joey. Now,
see,
and
a
then
professional.
Right back into the other
a
hand.
professional. Because
So
she wasn't going to
fucking-
shake your hand with a dirty Doritos hand.
And she should keep that Dorito dust to herself.
Yes.
You know, like, you earned that.
Just on the elevator like.
No, exactly. It was the way I dreamed of meeting Missy Elliott.
I'm glad she was nice.
Oh,
because
she's a
it's
sweetheart.
scary meeting people you've ever... I don't fully idolize anyone. There's
Yeah.
people where I'm like, oh, they're major. But I never idolize anyone. Like, I fully... I guess maybe growing up performing, I fully see performers as human beings. And I'm like, no, they're human. Like, there's things that they like I get when people are like, oh my God, it's so-and-so, let's run up and say hi. I actually get nervous because I'm like, I don't know if they're that kind of person who wants to talk to people.
Yep.
And I don't want to ruin that for them, you know, them in their space.
Yeah.
So, like, meeting people that you care enough about artistically is so scary. Because sometimes they're actually nasty.
And not the good nasty.
Not the good nasty.
1,000,000%. I'm the same way. I get more nervous because I'm like, I don't want to make them like uncomfortable as a person and rub them off the wrong way.
Yes.
It's like when talking to guys, like if the guy, like if I have clear memo that the guy wants it, okay, I'm happy to go. But like, I don't want to talk to somebody because I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable. I'm not worried about getting a no. I don't want to make them uncomfortable, you know?
Are you saying that in regards to like going up to a guy and like starting a conversation?
Yes.
Okay, this is therapy. We're back to therapy. Hello, welcome to therapy. That should be my show. But anyways,
I would produce it. I would love
therapy
to.
with
You
Frida.
really should.
No, but literally, and I would be like, but this is not real therapy.
Frida therapy.
Well,
Like free therapy, but like
okay,
free.
so that's tea. I just did Bitch Fest in May.
Yes.
And the finale, part of the finale was you had to do a number, and then you had to do a talk show / interview with Zavaleta, who's the host. La Zavaleta is the host of Bitch Fest. And I got music made I did the voiceover for it, and I was like, ladies and gentlemen, like very SNL, Conan O'Brien, and then I made a logo, and I called the show Free Them. Free Them, the show where we free them from the bullshit with Frida Cox. Isn't that kind?
You genius.
Right?
I need a video of this.
Oh, there has to be one somewhere. But I like had a whole projection and everything. Like I was like,
fucking genius.
and I was the only one who had a projection. I was like, oh, I thought everyone would have did it. So I was like stressed. Yeah. But I got second place and I'm totally fine with that.
Hi.
But the therapy. So when it comes to like going up to someone in person, like I said, I just started being confident a few years ago. And it took a really bad breakup for me to get to that point because I was like, okay, I need to fix myself. I need to check in with Damon, which is my out of drag name. You could believe that if you want. But I need to check in with myself and also check in with Frida because Frida was only prevalent in my life and not my out of drag self as well. There wasn't a balance. And a lot of girls don't have balance. And so I started working out like crazy. I was dieting, like I was going to therapy. I was working 2 jobs. Like I was really working on myself.
Yeah.
And I lost a bunch of weight and I started like recognizing, I also started tweeting more, like thirst traps. And I was going off. Like people were like, like all these people that like I didn't think would find me attractive or all these people from places that I didn't even think they could see me were like, oh my God, you're so beautiful, you're so hot, like you're da da da. And I was like, wait, I am. And like every day I would look in the mirror before I left, and literally I still do it now. I look in the mirror and I go, you're a cunt. You look good. This outfit's great. And whatever I needed to do, and I usually try to like pick a specific thing. I'd be like, oh, your ears look really cute today. Your smile's really nice.
Aww.
And eventually you start rewiring the brain that's been told you aren't pretty or you're not the best choice or whatever. Because like out of drag, I'm like a cub bear. And in twink settings, that's not always wanted. You know,
Right.
even though I predominantly date twinks and like it just happens.
Yeah.
But like it's always been hard for me to find that one twink that likes the bears. And I'm not saying I don't like bears, but like that's just what always clicks. I like differences.
Right.
So like with me, I was always scared going up to a skinnier person because I'm like, oh, they're not gonna like me. But during that time of talking to myself and being like, no, you are beautiful, you are wanted, like you are sexy, you are good at sex, like you got good dick, like you got good everything, like you're ready to go. I started being like, you know what, fuck it. If they are not receptive to me, they're not receptive to me. As long as I don't do anything that's very unconsensual, like grabbing them or anything,
Yes.
I can't fault myself. And if they have an adverse reaction to me even saying hello, that is their situation and that is their story. And that's okay for them.
Right.
But I know I'm not a bad person. I know I'm not evil. I know I'm not nasty. So I just started like being like, fuck it. I'll just be like, and I literally will, not anymore because I'm taken out. But like, if I found somebody attractive, I would find the moment where I'm dancing and I'd be like, I just want you to know you're really beautiful.
Aww.
And I just say like that.
Really
And then
that.
if they take that opportunity to talk with me, that's on them. But at least I put out the line and they just have to bite the hook.
Fascinating. And I like the word choice too. Beautiful.
Yeah, because I I feel like especially if you grew up as a man, like if you're AMAB, like you're assigned male at birth, we don't hear we're beautiful enough or pretty.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
I didn't start calling myself pretty until a couple years ago.
And you know what's crazy with that's the thing, like pretty has a very like feminine undertone to it, which is hot and we love, and it's quite kind. But it's like it should also just apply to kind of everything. And when people tell me like I'm pretty, sometimes I'll have this moment of dysphoria where I'm just like, huh?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I thought I was giving quite trade today. You know what I mean? Like stupid fucking shit like that. That doesn't matter because I'm getting a compliment. I should take it. But it just shows how fucking binarily assigned we are to just fucking random ass labels and fucking adjectives like the word pretty.
Yeah. But I also, I think like what helped me to rewire that was like people I was dating would be like, oh, you're pretty. And then also real talk, when you see like back to the sex talk, like when you see a nice dick, you don't call it a nice dick, you call it a pretty dick. That doesn't make it less like dick. You know?
Absolutely.
Because like when you see a nice
yeah, you're
dick,
like, that's a pretty dick.
That's a pretty dick.
What's a pretty dick to you?
It has good length to girth ratio. Also, like complexion. Like I'm not a size queen, never been a size queen, and I've been with all kinds of sizes. And to me, it's always like it looks like it's not ashy. Like it looks like the color is good. And also, a dick is instantly prettier when it's hard for you. You know, all of a sudden you're like, that is such a pretty dick.
I did that.
No, literally, I'm like, is that for me? Is that mine?
Yeah. Aw. Going back to the sex talk, let's do it. It's funny. We're on the same fucking page here because I had a moment where I was like, okay, sex talk. When it comes to sex and everything, and you mentioned you won't bottom for somebody unless if you're in love. And with that, you identify as a verse top.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of find myself in the same boat.
Are you in your verse top era?
I've kind of been now for like 2 years now. I've put this on the record. This really isn't anyone's business, but like this is our conversation. That's first and foremost. I've topped more times than I've bottomed. I could count how many times I've bottomed on this hand.
The gag.
I know.
I'm pretty sure people are going to be gagged in this moment. They're
Wow.
like, wow. But that's the thing
My
is
phone
like tops
explodes.
with thick asses. Like
That's what I'm saying. In gravity, like I'm not the best in science, but like depending on the position, like that's more into because there's more weight on my back. Hello.
T, you said
know?
when I come up, I'm coming down.
Exactly.
Down. No, but T, I see. I love when people explore themselves in
Yes.
any capacity.
Yeah.
As long as it's safe and you know you're not harming yourself or others. I love that. Like I love when people are like, oh my God, I've been topping more. I'm like, oh, you've been topping?
Yes.
Good for you.
Go ahead, fly, baby.
No, literally.
Spread your wings.
And it's always a gag because if I'm in a relationship, there is going to be at least, if the person's a total whatever, it's going to be at least one moment where we're reversed because
Absolutely.
I'm going to need some dick too sometime.
All right.
You know? And I remember one relationship, the person was a total bottom. I had them top me, and afterwards they became verse bottom. They're like, I actually really enjoy it.
See?
And I've had people who've never eaten ass, they eat my ass, and then they're like, I am obsessed with eating ass now. And I'm like,
Converting people.
no, literally church.
No, Jehovah's Witness, but like my whole
butthole.
See, I'm like, honestly, same. Truly same. And my thing is like, I don't like to limit the options. I've always been that kind of way.
T.
You know, like for me now, like going back to like the bottoming thing, like I find myself like, I will only bottom for somebody if I love them.
Yeah.
You know, because all my other experiences have just been like shitty hookups where I'm like, this is like a little way too personal for me. I love my sisters and my girls that could get it from anyone and everywhere.
I
love
literally
that.
wish I could.
Same.
But I
Same.
just like,
I
it's
can't.
so intimate if I'm going to be topped. It's so intimate.
So intimate.
And it's just like, I also know myself. When I bottom, that's another girl. That's another girl. Like, I am a moaner in general, but when I bottom,
Yeah.
I'm a nasty little bottom.
Same.
So I can't trust, like, I have to feel a sense. And I think that's why, like, when I'm in love with someone, I feel a sense of comfort.
Yes.
And like,
exactly.
And that there are bottoms who, well, verse bottoms who they only top when they feel that kind of comfort too, because they're more in their head about topping the way we may be more in our head about bottoming.
Fascinating.
So it works.
See, with me and topping, I'm the same as you.
Ready
like,
to go.
Anyone can get it.
Boom.
Anyone
Boom,
can
bam,
get
boom. Like, let the moment rise.
it. Yeah, literally, it will rise.
Rise.
And I love it. But bottoming, I'm just like, no, you got to get to know me a little bit, especially too because like they're pleasing me because they want to. Like that just makes it so much more hotter for me to begin with, you know? But I also, like, I think it was Carrie Colby that was just like, I'm a side. And I'm like, yeah, a side is hot too.
A side is very hot.
I love a side.
I've dated people who, or like been friends with benefits with people who like, there was like maybe once or twice we've ever like fucked. But like besides that, it was just like oral or jerking. And there is nothing wrong with a good session, like side by side, just like helping each other out. I love that. Like
69 moment. Like I love it because how do I say it? It's like there's so much to work with. The possibilities are endless.
No, literally.
It seems like it's such a concrete and like dead end type of thing we're gonna do, but it's like it just shows who's good at what they do and who's not.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like also, if you're bored by jerking off or just head, clearly you haven't been creative.
Exactly.
And clearly they're not doing a good enough job. Because if someone is bomb with head, they could give you the same position and you're still going to love it. But if they're not, you're going to hate it. And if they're good with their hands, you're going to love it. So, and there's like so many, like we all watch porn. Like if you don't watch porn, I wish I was you. But there's things in videos that you're like, I could do that. Like don't get wrapped up in the porn industry of like things are gonna be clean every time, things are gonna be like perfect every time.
No.
But like some of the things like holding someone while you help them out.
Right,
flashbacks. Flashbacks. Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the trauma.
Releasing that trauma out the bottom.
The positive sexual trauma. No, but honestly, yes. And my thing is like I'm like we said, like when we're in an intimate setting, I'm a very sensual person. Very so much so where it's like I could get work done and it doesn't have to be necessarily pertaining to the genitalia region. It could be a pit. It could be, you know, the
you
back
seem like
of
a
your
pit
ear.
girl.
Oh.
You seem like a pit girl.
Oh yeah.
You seem like a pit girl.
Say it again. I love
She's
a pit.
a pit girl.
I love a pit.
There was one instance in my life where I caught myself going for someone's pits, and I'm not a pit girl. And I was like, what came over me that night was not me. That was the devil. Because I was just like in there, and I was like, what is up?
Yeah, and then you get her and you're like, oh shit, you have a dick too? Yeah,
It's like, wow, nice.
Yeah.
It's like people who have sensitive nipples. I am the moment.
Me.
I like if I'm hooking up with someone who has sensitive nipples, the moment I'm very big on like in general, you should listen to the body and to people non-verbally as well as verbally.
Yes.
So with sex, like if I kiss or touch a spot and I see a reaction or feel a reaction or I feel a jump or a pulse, I'm like, I'm going to go back to that. And I'll go back to that and I'll find out that like that spot is that spot. And I'm like, I'm fine staying here for another 20, 30 minutes.
Same.
Like if that's going to bring you that ecstasy where you're now letting out these sounds that you were holding back and you couldn't hold back anymore because this is your moment, I'm going to do it. Like, because that to me is hot. Like even if you're someone who's like, oh, I only want to get you off, I'm fine. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to still make sure you're going to enjoy this moment and you're going to remember this moment.
Exactly.
Yeah. And like I use it for performing as well. Like I'm very big and I'm proud of myself in the sense of like I have brunch every Sunday. 2 seatings every single Sunday, 12:30 and 3 at Toro Loco. with my girl Jessica Rose, and I have gotten to a point with performances that I feel like I can read a crowd really well. And usually it does take that first number to figure out the crowd. But once I do, I'm like, they don't want dancing. They want comedy. Nope, this crowd is not going to give $1 unless it's dancing. This crowd wants a split. This crowd wants some in-your-face action.
Yeah.
Like, this crowd wants hip-hop. This crowd wants, like, some pop shit, like Britney, whatever. So... And I'll do that. I'll be like my DJ has all my tracks. Anything new, I send him to both my DJs.
Yeah.
So that whenever we go, I just go, I think I'm going to do this, actually. Yeah. Put that one on. And it normally is the carry because I'm like, you just have to listen. You have to listen and read the room. Like, and I feel like that's what I like do in the bedroom and out the bedroom. I read the room.
That was so hot. You just compared your sex life to your brunches.
It's all
That's
collaborative.
Genius. Yeah. I
It's
mean,
all
like, it
collaborative.
genuinely is. That
Like,
was really hot.
See, that's why I got you that hat.
Hey. Exactly.
Cause like that also is the tea. Is like I've kai-kai'd in some sense with some people.
Okay.
And also like there's people out of drag, like non-drag people that I've done a show and they're like, oh my God, you turned me on. That was so hot. And I was like, I didn't plan that. Sorry.
Yeah. I was just doing my thing. I was just working.
Yeah, no, literally. And like, so I was like, you know what? And I saw Reese Havoc.
Yes.
And I literally messaged her because I was like, hey, I don't want you to like get upset if I come out with this hat. And she's like, girl, I don't own the idea. Like, it's literally just words on a hat. And I was like, I know, but I just did not want. And she's like, thank you for asking, but no, like, you can totally go ahead and do that. And also why I didn't get it in black and white font. That's exactly the same. So, like, I was like, I got a few made, and I'm going to, this summer, one of the goals is to get more made, but by a third-party retailer so people can just order it themselves.
I love it.
Yeah, so.
A businesswoman.
I have to be.
The thought of you and Reese speaking together, too, makes me very happy because I fucking love Reese. And
There's tea with Reese.
Oh.
No, good
Well,
tea.
okay,
it's good tea. It's good tea. It's not bad tea at all.
Okay.
No.
I was about to say, well, okay, back to the jackhammer.
Screaming. No, it's good tea. It's good tea. But I know Reese, and like we've texted. So
Yeah.
I fully, even if I didn't know the girl, I would have reached out because when I got my degree in theater, they taught a lot of professionalism in business and understanding networking and connection and understanding that your community is always smaller than you think it is. So like I would never want to do something that's gonna come back to somebody in a way of disrespect.
Yeah.
In a way that seems like, why didn't they just ask me if that was okay? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it takes 2 seconds to message somebody.
Yeah, it's like what we were saying, like when it comes to like just owning up to a mistake we may or may not have made. It's just easier to be like, all right, my bad.
Yeah.
So sorry.
100%.
Move on, you know? It's just easier.
Yeah. Now there's girls who've done that. Like they've not taken responsibility. And like over the years I've seen like, it's crazy when girls steal girls' numbers. Like tea like that. Like someone's like idea of like a product or something.
Yeah.
You know, their similarities, yes. But a whole number, not forgivable. That to me is not forgivable.
Yeah, and it's just like there's so much out there
So
for you to
much.
choose from.
Like
Just choose
the
that.
moment I see a girl do something, I'm like, fuck. I wish I thought of it first. And I go, it's not available to me anymore. That's hers.
Yep, I was the same way. I've had a number of mine stolen before too, and I was like,
I feel like that's a rite of passage.
oh,
That's when you know you're cunt.
oh, and this is my first time ever speaking about it. I'm not even gonna say what it was because it's so long ago, and
I don't
love
remember
her.
the person's name that stole mine.
Oh, hot. But it was like, it's like a little sting, but it's also like,
It's like,
You
oh my
like
God,
what
you
you
liked
saw,
it
huh?
so much.
exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you, babes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
But if
you.
you do it again, cease and desist.
Genuinely.
Like the minute, I remember the first time it was also a bearded girl. And when I was first starting in drag, like my social media it was back then when Instagram, like some people really like their Instagrams were just like people were seeing that shit. Like people were showing me on their like, I don't know what it's called now, but like kind of like the explore page.
Got you. Yeah.
And like people would say like, oh, I saw you on the explore page.
Oh no.
And so like people would see my in and out of drag stuff. They would see my stories. And like, I remember this one bearded girl, we were both following each other, and I performed a number, and a couple days later in her story, I was seeing she was performing the exact same number, and I couldn't see the full number because it was only clips of it, but I was like, that's the same. And I just performed that a few days ago. I was like, I don't feel comfortable, and I'm not going to message and be like, hey, is that my number? Did you blah, blah, blah? Because, you know, unless I have proof, there's no way of knowing.
Right.
But I felt uncomfortable enough, and if my gut is telling me something, I was like, I'm just going to block this person. Because I do not want to come out with any more content that they're going to be like, okay, that's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Exactly. You don't work for them.
No, literally.
You're not their content creator.
100%.
Nor their producer.
No, if you can't come up with your own content, sucks to be you. But don't take it from other people.
Fascinating.
Don't.
Yeah. I my thing is I'm just like, okay, well, people are going to notice and you're going to end up carrying the burden of being the sloppy second diva. And we love sloppy seconds, but not in that way.
But in their circles, you'll be the sloppy second diva. And that's what I don't like. I don't. My biggest thing in life, in and out of drag, is I don't want to be like other people. I hate that. I think, to me, like, I do love, like, a good matching moment with a co-host or, like, any of those things like that. But I live for individuality and originality. Like, that is also why I stay with the beard. That's why I do the things I do. Like, I have double piercings out of drag, so I use 2 hoops. I was like, double hoops.
Genius.
Why not?
That's so kind.
You know? And I don't see girls with double hoops.
Yeah.
I tell girls who have multiple piercings, like, do a double hoop. And they're like, I never even thought to do that. I'm like, yeah, you have 2 piercings.
Pioneer.
No, I would do triple, but the third one's like a bitch to get in. So.
Got you. Okay.
And it's also like, it eventually gets like so clanky. It's just annoying.
Heavy, yeah.
But I live for originality. And yeah, there's things you're inspired by. There's things you want to replicate in some capacity.
Yep.
But be your own person.
Yeah, I'm very big on that. I'm like, I feel like people that are authentic have always been that way. And as they grow, they find themselves leaning more into that and they know how to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of for some people and it just kind of fucking isn't. I'm the same way. If I find something that I'm inspired by, I try my hardest to be like, let's stay inspired by it and not replicate it.
Yes.
Not because I want to replicate it, but I know I'm capable of coming up with something on my own while still being inspired by this external thing.
I think the best way to do that is to see what you're inspired by and then go, what about this is gagging me? What about this is inspiring me? And then it's like, oh, the change in color of this thing, or the way the sound went from this to this, that fluid motion, or literally just the way those 2 patterns look together, like, and then you go, okay, so then I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do like a mixed pattern moment, but not those exact mixed patterns.
Yeah.
Like, try to pick the things, and that's how you keep from doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And it's a tricky one when you're inspired by something and you want to like do something similar. It's tricky, but
when you say it honestly makes so much more sense when you say it. It's like when you have a conversation behind it, you're inspired by it. You know you're copying something when there's no conversation behind it. It's just copy and paste.
And paste.
You know?
No, literally just drag the mouse, click.
Fascinating. What were you inspired by when it came to creating Frida?
So I grew up with mostly women in my life. And my mom at one point was a single mom, and she was always hardworking. So Frida's inspired by strong women. I love a strong, independent woman. Like, my mom is married now, but she's still a strong, independent woman. And like when she's not, it's like the most heartbreaking moment because you're like, mommy, no, like you gotta be tougher.
No, yeah.
You know, you're
you
like,
have to be superhuman. Yeah.
But I also understand like you're not superhuman, and like she's also taught me that too.
Real.
Like she's had her breakdowns, and she was the reason I got into therapy. Like my mom was like, let's do therapy. Whenever I'm sad and I'm a normally sad person, like just existing, Like I just look sad, but I'm not always sad. She'll be like, "Oh, are you getting back into therapy?" Like, and most people don't have a parent that will
ask that. Yeah.
push for therapy. And my mom will be like, "Okay, you're doing a lot. Make sure you breathe. Make sure you're gonna have a breakdown if you don't." Like, and so being strong but also being vulnerable at the same time inspired Frida a lot. And like when I first started doing makeup was because of theater, because we had to learn how to do makeup because when you get cast for a show, you don't always have a makeup artist on deck and you have to be able to do your own. And I was like, you know what? I want to work on this drag persona. And Sean Sullivan in Adelphi, he made an independent study for just me and one other person to work on our drag personas. And the other person was working on their drag king persona, and I was working on my drag queen persona. And at first, I could not block my brows for shit. Like, it was just not happening. And if I did, like, I can only draw, like, the thickest brow, and it was a glitter brow. Oh, it was a different time.
Oh, I understand.
And so I was like, okay, my name would be Frida, like Frida Kahlo, because the brows were so close. And I kept it the same spelling, Frida. But I was like, I'm not going to call myself Frida Kahlo. And I was like, I love a good play on words. And I think I'm funny. If I'm not, someone's lying. And I was like, Frida. It sounds like Frida. And then I started thinking of words. And I was like, Frida. And I thought Frida Cox. I was like, oh my God. But I spell it COX because that is a name.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's a bitch on Instagram who won't let me have that handle.
Damn it, bitch.
She hasn't used her Instagram in years.
It's always that. That's
always
the case.
And I report it every time. It'll block it and
right
I'll unblock it and I'll report. No, literally, please. No, because I want it. Like I've now gotten to a point of performing not just in New York City, like not just in New York. Yeah. So I want just Frida Cox. Yeah. So it's just that. And like it came from that. Like, because I couldn't do brows. Frida came from, I couldn't do brows. And then I also really liked Frida Kahlo as a person because she's very like, I don't care. I have hair. What? And I was like, work. And it fits me. And at first I was not a bearded girl. Like when Frida Cox was born, like as a, like baby not even queen. Performing. And then I was like, well, I have to keep my beard because I'm an actor. And I have roles that need me in a beard. And I grow facial hair really quickly. I grow hair in general really quickly. Same. But I was like, I can't shave it consistently. Like, I'm not going to ruin my skin. Yeah. And I kept it, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it a thing. And there's also, back to not being like other people, there's not a lot of bearded girls in New York City. There's not a lot of booked bearded girls. And there's not a lot of well-performing bearded girls in the world. And I was like, I want to be that. Like, I want to be that. And then I also found about hirsutism. I forget how to pronounce it. But it's where women grow excessive hair. And it usually, like, will be in spots that predominantly men tend to have facial hair. So, like, facial hair, chest hair, like, places that, like, normally you would assume cis women wouldn't have hair. But also, there's trans women that have hair, you know? Right. And by staying with my beard and like still being pretty and still being body positivity and like wearing things that you would think I shouldn't wear and looking the way I look, I continue to do it so that like anytime those people see me and they're like hating on themselves, like a trans girl who's hating on herself because she has too much facial hair because she grows too much, or a cis woman who grows facial hair and she's like getting it waxed all the time, I want them to see me and be like, okay, but I could look pretty and I could still be feminine and I could still exude what I want to exude and need to exude to exist without like going through the pain of shaving my face or whatever. Like you don't, if
manipulating somehow.
Yeah. Like you don't have to do that if it feels right to you. If it feels comfortable, keep it. Do it.
Work. And I mean that work, not like...
Oh, no. Work, I use both. I use both down.
You'll get a strong W when I'm like, work, bitch. But like, work. Lips hardly move. Work. It just kind of falls out. Whereas
literally.
Work.
Yeah.
Meant that. Fascinating.
Thank you.
I like you a lot, girl.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. I'm very happy you're here.
Same.
Real.
I was gagged when you asked because, like, I've heard of your podcast and I've seen some girls on here, and I was like, I want to get up on that. But I also like, I'm not someone who's gonna be like begging anyone for anything. And
I'm the same way.
I was like, if the stars align, if the cars cross the street, then let it be. And then when you came up to me and you were like, I've seen you before. First, I was gagged. Anytime anyone's like, I've seen you before, I'm like, where? I'm like, what was I doing? And you saying the Miley tribute night, I was even more gagged because that night, like I said when we were talking before, like I wasn't meant to be on the lineup at first. And then I was added last minute and I instantly knew I was going to do Zombie, her cover of Zombie.
You genius.
It was mostly because I had a friend pass away who I graduated with. And our class song was Zombie. But the original.
The Cranberries, yeah.
Yeah, and ever since Miley Cyrus released that specific album and she did the cover, it was always on repeat. But once my friend passed away, Samantha Coleman is her name, I was like, I want to perform this so badly. And when she said a Miley tribute night, I said, I'm doing that whether people care or not, because it was a very punk song. And Miley, to me, exudes pop. You know, so like her energy is punk, but like people really party with pop, you know? And I normally try to like, you know, keep the party going with the energy. So like I'll do something that's going to make people party. But I was like, I'm doing this number whether people live for it or not. And I remember being overwhelmed with emotion during that number because people were screaming the lyrics before it started actually saying the lyrics. And I was gagged at how up the club went for that number.
Up.
I was gagged.
We love everybody. All the other lovely performers were fucking amazing, legendary that night. But baby,
I was gagged.
And like we talked about like giving people compliments. Like we won't give compliments if we don't mean them.
Yeah.
So when I give them, it's because I want you to know that it is so fucking authentic. Like that, whatever place it's called, $9 bill basement, whatever the fuck that place is, the adjacent basement to $3 bill now. Everyone in there went
I was gagged
up. And I turned to my friends. We all sang to each other. We were like, everybody here needed that. However, it was
the energy changed. The energy changed.
And I think, were you the closing?
No,
of the show?
I wasn't.
You were like the last.
I was
of the
close
first
to the
act
end
or something.
Yeah.
Man, like it honestly kind of felt like the night just started. Like after you performed,
It was
I
crazy.
was like, holy shit! Like let's get another batch of girls and let's continue because she fully just like kicked off a whole other fucking.
It's
night.
just that energy of punk.
Oh yeah.
And that's also part of Frida. Like punk, like not wanting to be like others, like wanting to like just literally, and also with drag, like sometimes you have to do a number because you want to. Like stop doing numbers only for the crowd. Like if you are doing numbers only for a crowd, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
So like doing that number, I was like, I'm not dancing, so that's T. 2, I'm also just existing and like living. And when the crowd gave me that energy back, it's just, and you know, like when the crowd gives you energy back, it just takes you to another place.
Oh yeah.
It's like a hit of Poppers. Atmospheric douche of the soul.
Genuinely, like it was the moment the song starts. Miley, like the track, she hasn't even begun singing yet. Everyone is like, oh no fucking way is this bitch about to do this. And you carried that energy throughout the song. And if anything, it just got stronger and stronger and stronger. And like I said, it just felt like everyone there that came needed that. They needed to scream that song, whatever their reasoning was.
Whatever.
Like it, and the things is that you also just performed it perfectly. No
Thank
fucking
you.
notes. Not that I'm some type of fucking authority or judge of drag,
I
but
thought
like
you were. Oh.
It's not just like, oh, the song is fierce, but the performer is all right. No, y'all were right there with the song and your energy. Like,
thank you.
It was phenomenal. One of my favorite like performances ever in nightlife history.
If I could relive that, I wish I had a full video because the lighting also hit perfectly. Because I saw some girl posted a video of me, a clip of me, and then said like in font like drag is life or something like that. And I have that video when I reshared it saved in my favorites because just that clip of me on that stage with red lighting behind me and me in my orange bob and like my pleather pants and my like corset, I was like, that's performance. Like that to me was like, I was living my life. And I remember seeing faces, and like, I don't think enough people talk about like while you're performing what it's like. I remember while I'm performing seeing people be like, oh my God. And I was like, ah! In my head, I was like, y'all gagging for me? Like, y'all living for me? And like that eye connection, when you connect with someone in the audience and you're just like, and you just connect. And that song really like is a good one because it's about keep fighting. Like it's about keep going. Like it's still war, baby. Like it's still war. And I was just like, oh, it just made it even better. And I felt like my friend was like in that moment, like I felt like her spirit was there with it too. And I was just like, I literally right before the song started, I said, this is for you, Sammy. And I was like, oh, it was everything. I loved that night so much, which made Missy even better because I was like, I'm going to keep doing what I want to do. That's going to make me feel good about a number.
Yeah. You're fucking everything, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah. You know what you're doing and you just do it with so much fucking taste and intention.
That's important.
But you also know to also like not take it that deep. That's also what I get from it, and I love that because I hate people that are so serious for no fucking reason.
I used to be, and there are moments where I am, but for me it's also once it's more so like you can be serious as hell, but the minute you're in the view of an audience member, you need to let your drag persona breathe and let them exist. Because if you're walking around with a serious energy, because like you could be producing a show and like the run of the show is happening, like it's like stressful. We've all been there. Like it's like you want things to flow perfectly, but you gotta be like, it's happening. It's live theater. It's live performance. Like, and also like, if you're falling behind for whatever reason in any capacity, like makeup went askew or outfit falling apart. One, that's why I carry multiple outfits. I always have at least one other outfit in a bag. There's like 3 in my bag, literally in the corner. And I have touch-up stuff in that bag just in case I was like, ooh, my lips look crazy. You know, things like that. So that way, like, you can freak out for a second, but then you're like, okay, I have the things to help me. I can, like, literally the night of Thousand Miss Yellows, I was supposed to wear different pants. I had different pants that I was going to wear, but I told Lanye to bring her other pants that she had just in case.
Gotcha.
And I went to put them on, and they were cunt. They were like dual tone camo, like 2 different camos. It was cute. And when I went to zip it up, popped. The zipper popped. And I said, so I'm skinny. And then I took on Lanye's pants, and they fit perfectly. They worked well, and I knew I was going to rock my Timbs because I was like, it's Missy.
Absolutely.
I got to be a hood bitch. I have to be a hood bitch.
Perfect.
And so I was rocking my Timbs, the camo, and the shirt. And I was just like living my fantasy. And I was like, I can't stress. Like the moment my pants broke, I wasn't freaking out in the bag. I was like, okay, next pants. Let's move on. Let's move on.
You always have a backup.
Yes.
Of anything.
You need to.
Of a backup. That's like the producer in me. Like I will have a backup of everything. Like this episode is being recorded audio and video off of 2 different means of audio. God forbid something happens to either. Like covered. You never fucking know.
Sometimes the universe likes to throw a ball and you can't catch it.
Oh.
And you have to be ready. You have to be ready.
Yeah. And then if not, say something happens and you fumble, like I'm now learning the idea of like, okay, show must go on.
That is, I know so many performers and people in general, but like specifically to performance, like that something will happen and they just like
crush.
They're cracked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, girl, even if you just face planted, which I know you know.
Yeah.
You went right into it. You kept going.
Oh.
You kept going.
And if anything, I was like, let me give you an extra kick. And when I get up, it's not going to be sloppy. It's going to be cunt. In this 8 count that I'm about to hit.
You did that split, but you overmoved on your balance and you hit the floor, but you went into a little body roll moment.
Yes.
And that's what you do.
Show must go on. And I know that this next count I hit, I'm going to hit harder.
Mm-hmm.
Show must go on.
It has to.
Show must go on. Because the audience, whether we're talking about an actual audience or your coworkers, the people outside of you, don't know what's being planned up here. use that to your fucking advantage.
100%.
You know?
100%.
And if
the wig starts to fall, take it off. Take it off.
Take it off.
You know how many times I've done that and they think that's intentional, and then like they're gagged, and I'm like,
exactly. Especially like being a professional, you plan it out the timing of the song. I'm gonna hold on to it for a second till this chorus hits. Chorus, wig is off.
Yeah.
I planned this.
You won't know.
You never ever know.
Also, someone could be looking away at that moment, and they missed the mistake.
That part too.
They don't know. And it's also like it goes into like when the music gets cut, or like sometimes you have DJs who play sound on top of your music.
Yes.
And I always tell a DJ, do not play sound effects with my music. I told a DJ once and he was like, you don't like that? And I said, no. I don't.
Did I rehearse that sound that you put on top?
But literally. Also, when you do mixes, like it fucks up the timing of your flow, and like, let's be real. Some mixes, we don't all know them in our blood. So like, you really need to hear it. You're like, I need to hear that.
Yes.
So like, I'll tell people, and like sometimes, you know, the track will stop, or sometimes the DJ will do something. And you're like, I don't recall practicing that, but you have to keep moving. And like it's happened so many times where like the music will stop or the whatever will cut out, and I'll just freeze. Or I'll take a moment and I'll walk. I'll be like, but I won't like make a scene. I won't do anything like that.
No.
Because the moment you do that, the moment you lose. Like you're still supposed to have fun. Make it a moment. Like joke about it.
Yes, exactly.
Joke about it. Joke about it.
Exactly. Because then people are going to be like, okay, she's funny. Like we're gravitating towards her because she's a great performer, but it's like, oh, she knows how to keep the spirits up. That's just what matters. Keep us in the fucking moment, however you can. Show must go on, girl. I don't know. Like I've had coworkers and stuff like that before, especially like back in my radio days, where like something would happen, like we wouldn't get this like audio over to a segment in time, and people just be losing their minds, and I'm like, okay, well, next segment. Like, what is
come back to it?
Exactly.
Come back to it.
Exactly. What is running around with our faces cracked gonna do? We're just gonna stay cracked? No. I'd like to put myself
Lotion
together.
and keep going.
Exactly. Girl. I hope I'm not holding you up from your gigs.
Oh no, you're
talk to you for days.
You're totally fine. My gig is not until I have to be there at 5:30 in the West Village. So they booked out a popular bar. I'm not gonna say, just like, I don't know if it's supposed to be private or not. I don't know.
Gotcha.
But they booked out like a popular gay bar, and I found out that the DJ they have is DJ Two Face. So I'm kind of excited because I've never worked with DJ Two Face. I think I never have. If I did, it was once. But I've partied when DJ Two Face has DJ'd.
Oh, and is it a party?
And DJ Two Face knows how to work. Like, knows how to work.
Please tell him I said hi.
So I'm excited because I just know it's going to be good. Like, I know if there's any mishaps, it's going to be covered. Yeah. I know that, like, any audio, they're going to cover it. Like, I'm very excited. And also, the money already sent for this gig.
Period.
So even better. I don't have to worry about a check. I don't have to worry about collecting my coin. But they're also making sure to have tips to give me. Genius. And like they have the run of the show already done. I was like, this is professional.
Gorgeous.
And I live for professionalism. Like the moment they were like, oh, let's have a meeting to talk about how the flow is going to go. I said, yes, please.
Love a meeting.
Because I can do it. I can put the flow of a show together. I can time myself out. But if everything's timed out for me, I feel even more respected because you're taking me seriously. You're taking this moment seriously. You're taking it that like it shouldn't be just like done on a whim, you know? And I love that.
Beautifully said. Exactly. Girl, tell him I said hi. He was on like one of my first few episodes of the show. I love DJ Two Face.
I saw.
Damn. You both need to do more things together. And now I'm like, wait.
Well, I'm hoping like when like we work together, like that'll open up the conversation.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah. No, because I've seen DJ Two Face work, and I like even out of drag, like DJ Two Face knows how to turn the tables
down, and it's so sweet.
So sweet.
Good time. Not a nasty girl.
Oh, I remember when he was on here, he talked about, you know, even if you're not giving money to the DJ, like say thank you. Yeah. Say like I had a great time. The first time I partied and it was DJ Two Face, I knew of him and I knew him. So I went up to him and I was like, carried. so much fun. Like, oh my God. Or like, I'll do like when I go out, because we both like to go out dancing. When I go out dancing, if the DJ, I start to hear a track coming in, I turn and I go,
yes, I'm the same way.
Literally. Yeah. No, but literally I go, because I know. And
I'm
like,
that
that's
girl.
the girls who listen.
Oh, that's
because when you hear you go, is that Summer Renaissance?
Right.
And you're like, oh.
I hear the sample and it's not the original. It's not Donna. I'm like, it's sped up a little. I'm like, it's Summer Renaissance. The girls don't get it.
No, literally.
Really do get it.
So I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. And they literally like, it's drag bingo. Wow. And those who do drag know how great drag bingo is. It's just like, you get to just crack jokes. Sit.
Yeah.
Do 1 to 3 numbers and you're done.
Out.
You're done.
Beautiful.
Most of the work is the bingo.
Literally. I need to go one time. This sounds fun. I've never been to drag bingo, which is kind of sad.
I want a more regular drag bingo. Like, this is just for the private event.
There should be, like, drag bingo should be more of a thing here in
There
the
are
city.
more. There are some. I know that
they
they do it at Fresco's, Grand Cantina.
Got you, okay.
They do drag bingo at, I think, Queen in Astoria. I think they do drag bingo.
Fascinating. Yeah, I heard that one. Okay, I need to do that.
I don't think the Rosemont does drag bingo, because I just feel like it's not the capacity
that
for
would
it.
be kind of hot.
It would be so funny.
It would be the most Rosemonty drag
like, you walk
bingo.
into the Rosie and then you're just like, B42.
Yeah, they're like, here's your card, here's your...
Right.
Honestly?
I'd be like, what?
I would kind of live. It would be so, like, gutter butt, RV. I live.
Cunt.
I'd gotta be here for it.
Yeah.
I don't know what you...
It'd be different. It'd be different because...
It would.
It would have to be in that sweet spot of time where people are not too lit.
Yes.
You know?
Absolutely.
It's like a pregame.
Yeah.
Pregame drag bingo.
Yeah, exactly. They could even have it like in the back patio
and
everything. Not late though, because the Rosemont during the hours of like 1 to 2:30, lethal. Lethal. Good times though. Lethal for bingo. Great time for everything else. Lethal for bingo.
Oh yeah.
And the bathroom line.
Oh my God, that bathroom line. See, I don't party at the Rosemont too often, just because I don't always feel that I'm wanted. And if I don't feel completely comfortable, I don't stay at a place. I have no reason. I'm not gonna hold myself hostage.
Yeah.
So let me just adjust, because this is a lot of body. But
good girl.
But I remember like going there, and that line, if you had to go, you were literally shit out of luck.
Yeah.
Because that line could be so fucking long. And really, it's just girls in there taking pictures with their friends. Or doing something that I can't talk about.
Doing things with their friends.
Doing things with their friends. And then taking pictures of it.
Yeah.
Or with it. Or during it.
Or on it.
Or in it. Yeah.
That does happen in the bathroom.
That does. And I'm like, please let someone go.
Like, I just have to pee.
So badly.
I just don't like the divas that will, like, when you see, goes for anywhere in public too. Like, if the bathroom door's closed, that means there's somebody in it. 99.9% of the time, yes. Oh my God. I'm so happy I have amazing balance on both legs, because I donkey kick to the back door every single fucking time I'm in the Rosemont and I'm peeing, because I'm like, there's somebody in here.
You have
like,
one leg up while you're peeing?
Down. Oh, I wasn't joking about
That's
that sex joke we made earlier.
I kind of live.
You're just like lit up. Oh my God.
No, because like, that's kind.
Yeah.
I'm also like imagining the full image.
Oh,
I'm
down,
just like leg up. Just
yeah, full like donkey kick to the back. My year and a half of Taekwondo really taught me that. Like roundhouse kick to the back while
Okay,
peeing.
but who really finishes Taekwondo? Let's talk about that. Because how many times have I done it? So many times.
You know what?
No one really finishes it. And those who do are black belts.
Wow.
They're like legit.
Yeah, you either do it or you don't.
No. You know how many times I was a white belt? Because I moved a lot. And then, like, I lived in New York City, but I moved a lot. and then my dad is a military. He was an army guy. So like he moved a lot, and I would join Taekwondo when I was like when I would spend the summers with him. So then if he moved, I couldn't, and I never even got my gi, like the whole outfit, because it would always he would end up moving.
Fascinating.
So I would be a white belt so many times.
See, how old are you when you did it? Like a kid.
A kid, yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, when I was doing it when I was a kid, my parents were just finding a way to keep me active because I didn't want to do sports. I'm like, man, if I had the money to do that shit now, I would be there. Like, I do boxing now. But I'm like, shit, I would love to take it now.
Seriously? But now I'm like, oh, I remember some of the drills. I'm like,
the drills are
patience.
nasty.
Just,
the drills.
like, I don't got the patience.
Yeah, the drills are nasty.
And as an adult, you're like, why are we still doing this? But as a kid, you're like, oh, okay. But as an adult, you're like, okay, tell me exactly why, and I will do it.
Some context.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But like, I did so much as a kid that like I didn't need entertainment. My dad just like got me into it because like I like started working out at like 12.
Hot.
So like I'm on and off with the gym. Love-hate relationship with the gym. But like I was taught how to properly like lift the weight and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like my dad would be in charge of PT sometimes. So like he was really like knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
And like so like I learned how to like the full extension of a muscle like to the and like learning to accept like if you got to go down a weight, you go down a weight, you know? And
form over. Oh my gosh. What did we turn into like a Joe Rogan moment? Whoa. But no,
what a
yeah.
pussy Joe Rogan.
And honestly, Pussy Rogan.
Pussy Rogan.
Pussy Rogan. Something like that. But no, literally like form over that.
Yeah,
I've been sore all week and I've been like consciously going light with everything.
Do it. If your body needs it, your body needs it.
Yeah.
Because you would regret it when you work out so too hard to the point that you can't work out.
Oh, have I been?
And I've had that. Oh, girl.
Oh, yeah.
One time in college.
Oh, yeah.
I was trained by one of the, I think it was D1. The one right before the college level of football. Because it was University of Buffalo. And they have their team. And the Bulls. And my friend was like, oh, let's work out with my friend. He does the football team. And I was like, okay. And he was having my friend do lesser stuff. And then for me, he was having me do exactly what he does. And I was like, no. I can't do that.
No.
So I literally couldn't walk for like a week. I was in bed. I was like,
Yeah, it's bad when you're laying down and you're still sore. I'm like, shouldn't I be relaxed at this moment?
It was bad.
Yeah.
I said, never again. I said, he tried it. That was homophobia, honestly. I think he knew.
He was like, I'm going to apply this hate crime to your muscles and to your joints, actually.
Make them hurt me. Wow.
Very, like, psychological warfare.
Danger-esque.
But no, if you ever need a fun place to exert that type of energy, I do go to, like, this queer-owned boxing gym.
Oh, that's fun.
That's fucking fierce. The owner is legendary. It's an amazing, beautiful, safe space for us.
Where is this?
It's in Williamsburg, right off the Lorimer L. Haven Boxing.
Okay.
It's excellent. And like I just did like a functional class there and I'm literally still sore from that now. And you get all the reasoning behind why you're doing this. Why am I rotating this way when rowing, you know?
See, that makes sense.
Oh,
teach.
It makes so much sense and I leave and I'm being like, oh, I understand like what the fuck my body does and I understand that it's a machine. It's not just something that I'm trying to enhance every piece of for it to be bigger. And you can share
that knowledge with others because you now know.
Exactly.
Like someone's like, why are you doing that? You're like, I don't know. That's the worst.
Exactly.
When someone goes, oh, why are you doing that? You're like, well, actually, like this helps this.
Yes. Information, intel, education, crazy
education
concepts.
Connection. Get connected for free.
My kind of girl. Thank you so much for coming.
No
I really do love you. You are a therapist. You are a sex expert. You are an
not expert,
performer.
but I would like to say I understand.
It sounds like you understand just all that you need to understand. Thank you for coming, for real.
Thank you.
Like I've already like stand you seeing live, but then like talking to you, I'm like, oh, I fucking love this bitch. Truly.
Thank you.
Come anytime. you would like.
I'm totally down. Maybe next time I'll be out of drag so I could just be comfy.
Oh yeah.
But
No
and also the
worries.
gag your viewers because they'll be like,
Exactly.
That's
they'll be
not
like,
Frida.
They'll be like, oh, a new guest, and they're like, oh, it's Frida again.
mm-hmm.
Works with me,
Yeah, I'm down.
honestly. Thank you so much. I can't wait to press stop on this, and then we can keep on talking.
Yeah, thank you.
I love you, babe. Thank you so
Love
much.
you
Let
too.
the girls know where to find you. I don't know when this
Which
is
camera do I
airing.
look into?
Camera one right there.
Camera
baby.
one.
Yes.
Hello. As you've been hearing me ramble, you will not get to watch me wobble. You could find me on Instagram at Frida Cox NY. You can also find me on Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal because I'm broke. And it's Pride Month and my birthday month. You can find me at Frida Coins. So free those coins into my Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal. And you can also find me every Sunday at 12:30 and 3 at Toro Loco for Las Borrachas brunch with Jessica Rose. Yeah, and maybe in some newspaper or something because I will be on New York Live, actually. I just got a news
Period.
interview done with Jessica for our brunch for Pride. Mm-hmm.
Bitch, you better.
Yeah.
Do you know when that's gonna be out?
No clue. But it's for Pride, so it
Hot,
should be coming
okay.
up soon.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
We'll share and everything.
Yeah, thank you.
Girl, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
I love you. You are a sister.
Thank you.
Immediately. Love you. Y'all, we'll see y'all next week. Bye. Bitch, you're fucking fun.
Thank you.